Welcome back to CAD 101, Fusion Foundations. Last episode, we drew this, and let's be honest, it's a mess. Lines don't connect perfectly, corners are sharp, things fell off. In this episode, we fix it. This is where you stop sketching like a beginner and start thinking like an engineer. We're not adding new shapes today, we're improving what we already built. We're going to work on modifying our sketch with 5 tools: trim, extend, fillet, chamfer, and mirror. All right, here we are in Fusion. If you have to reopen your file from the home page, easiest way, when you get in, right here is recent. You should see up here in the upper left, it's the last thing you worked on, my new house. If not, you'll have to go through open and find it. Or if you're in the untitled workspace, up here you have what's called the data panel. Click on that, you should have my recent data as well there. So we've gone ahead and opened our file. We're going to go ahead and rotate the view cube to see our sketch from the front. So I'm going to go ahead and left click on front here in the view cube. Here's my sketch. Now I'm not going to create a new sketch. I want to go back in and edit my current sketch. And the way I do this, I go down here to the timeline and I double left click on the sketch icon. That brings me right back into the sketch and I can start editing things. Last episode we worked in the create menu. For the most part today, we're going to work in modify. And we're going to go from left to right. Most common to probably least common. We're actually going to kind of jump around a little bit with trim and extend. But you can see there's a handful of goodies in there. So first things first, we've got fillet. So as you can see from the icon, that applies a round corner between two connecting geometries, be it lines, parts of rectangles, things like that. So up here on the edge of my house, I've got some sharp corners. Let's go ahead and round a couple of these off. So I'm just going to go ahead and left click on the fillet tool real quick. And if I hover over this corner right here, where my 2 lines of my house connect, you can see a little red line. That's the preview of what this fillet's going to look like if I left click. So if I left click right now, it applies it. Not only do I get a blue arrow, but I get a text box. So I can change how big that fillet's going to be. So I can make my house have a really sharp corner like this. So we're going to make it really, really sharp, just for dramatic sake. And I'm going to hit enter. You'll notice when I did that, I've got this now little overhang piece that I no longer want. So this is going to get into my next tools. So now we've got trim. Looks like a pair of scissors, and that's exactly how it functions. It trims sketches. So now that I've done it, I've left clicked on trim. You can see there's a little pair of scissors next to my cursor. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. If I hover over a line, part of it will turn blue or purple. Part of it's purple, part of it's blue. The blue will stay, the purple goes. So if I left click right here, that part of the overhang disappears. Same there, same there. And now we've got a clean sketch there. That is trim. Next up, I'm going to hit escape a couple of times to get out of the trim tool. So escape is a good key to get out of any sort of tool you're in. If you don't know if things aren't working right, just hit escape a couple of times. Now we're going to go into modify. We talked about fillets, we've talked about trims. Now we're going to touch on chamfers. So chamfers work and look just like fillets, except for instead of rounded corners, they kind of make a little bit more sharper, but still they ease off of an edge. So I'm going to go ahead and click on equal distance chamfer. And we'll go here to this other corner. If I hover over it in the corner, you can see the preview. If I left click, now instead of a rounded corner, I get a little bit of a sharper angle, but it's still cleaned up some. all I would have to do here is hit enter to accept this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it overly dramatic again. But it won't actually come over like the fillet did. So we'll leave it here and we'll leave our house like that. So that is chamfer. Last two that I was planning on showing today are extend, and I'm actually going to go back into create and do a mirror. I want to get a second one of these windows over on this side. So let's do extend real quick, see if we've got any lines we can extend. Right now at the bottom of our house, we've got a gap between the bottom of the door and the foundation. And we're going to clean up the foundation in the next step, but I'm going to use this to show you how extend works. So since we've got this gap, if I hover over this line, you'll notice there's a little red preview. That's basically saying, hey, we need to extend this line to the next object. It is a great way to close geometries so that way you get closed profiles and they turn shaded. It also helps to extend and make things bigger. So now let's say I wanted my door to look more like that. Now when I go to 3D world, it's going to be awkward because I got this additional line. So I can then go back into trim and get rid of this bottom line and just basically extend it. So I've extended it and then I trimmed the original bottom line. All right. So last but not least, we want to do mirror. So I'm going to hit escape a couple times, get out of my trim tool, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go to mirror. So notice it says mirrors the sketched curves about a selected sketch line. So real quick, we're going to talk about construction lines and construction geometry. So right now I don't have a sketch line that kind of gives me a halfway point. Although I probably could use this door. It looks about halfway between here and over the here. But since I brought it up, we'll do it. So we've got line. Over here in our sketch palette, we've got this area that says line type. By default, nothing is selected, but we've got our first one, which is a construction line. Construction lines and shapes are great. They let you make reference points in your sketches that don't end up being part of the 3D world. So I just went ahead and drew a line straight up, roughly about the middle. So I started at the bottom, left clicked, went straight up. Now I have a construction line. That's all I wanted, because now I can mirror this circle over this line, and I'll get another circle right over here. So I'm going to left click on mirror. First thing it's asking me is for objects. Click on my circle. My mirror line is that construction line. And there we go. And click OK. And again, Fusion's smart. So it's auto constrain this. We've got a symmetry constraint between these two circles, basically saying they're symmetrical about this line. If I left click and drag one of these, you can see they're changing size. If I move one, they both move. And that's it for today. Showed you 5 new tools, how to clean up your house a little bit. If your sketch wasn't working quite right for you, how to trim, extend, add rounded and chamfer corners to your model, and then even how to get some symmetry by using the mirror command. So in the next episode, we're going to start working on finalizing getting it clean, turning our sketch from blue to black. And that's the key to making successful, good-looking 3D objects. So go ahead, click into the next episode, and let's keep building.